Hola babes. So today I'm going to be talking about my kind of experience with anxiety. Just the most prominent moments of anxiety in my life. This is kind of like a story time video of like my anxiety attacks. So, when I was younger, I was kind of like I am now. I was more outgoing, more sociable. I liked being around people, I liked meeting new people, I liked making friends. But then around the time I was 10 or 11, I... You know how in stories sometimes characters hit puberty and get these amazing powers like flight or magic or shape-shifting or something like that? I didn't get a superpower. I got anxiety and depression. One of the things that sucks is that most of my life is blur to me. I can't remember a lot of it. I can't remember a lot of when I was younger, and I can't remember a lot of the time between middle school and high school. I don't remember a lot, because a lot of my childhood was really fucked up, so my brain kind of closed that off for me, and then once I started getting anxiety and depression, I started dissociating really bad. When I was in middle school, one of my first biggest panic attacks happened when I think I was in the 7th grade. So around this time, I was still figuring out my gender identity, my gender expression, my sexuality, and I was experimenting with makeup. Like any pubescent kid trying to figure out their time and who liked makeup, I was experimenting with makeup. I would wear eyeliner and eyeshadow and lipstick. Then one day, I think he was the vice principal. He came in to my classroom and pulled me out, looked me square in the face, and told me, "Are you wearing makeup?" I kind of blubbered a bit, and I was like, I don't know. Finally, I told him yes, and he made me leave my class that I was attending at the time and go wash my face. Now, as I walked to the bathroom, and as I stood in front of the mirror and the sink, I was shaking. I remember looking at my hands and seeing them shake, and I remember barely being able to move the faucet. I remember feeling so gross. It was one of the first times that I'd ever felt there was something wrong with me. I felt that there was something not right with me. I was upset that he had made me do that, and the part of me that was still me wanted to fight and was angry. But the part of me that had depression and anxiety took this as a reason to think there was something wrong with me, that I was less than a person, that I was... It was one of the first times I'd ever hated myself for who I was. I don't think he knew what he had done to me. Not really. Or if he did, he can fuck himself, but I really don't think he did. I had never felt that way about myself before. And that year, I stopped wearing makeup to school for a while, but I didn't stop wearing makeup out of school. There was the part of me that was still me, that was still the me that was fearless and ready to fight, wanted to know why I liked this so much, why I felt good like that. So I would still do it outside of school. One day, I woke up late, and I had been out the night before, so I still had eyeshadow on my face and like mascara and eyeliner still holding on, like holding a nice grip. But I didn't have time to wash my face, so I just went to school like that. My first period teacher kind of kept looking at me. Then finally she looked at me like straight in the face and was like, "Are you wearing makeup?" I remember I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I went to a party last night." And she was like, "And what, you didn't wash your face this morning?" And I was like, "No, I didn't. You, like, literally school starts at like 6. And then I don't even remember what happened after that. I don't remember if she made me go wash my face or if she just left it at that. That was what I remember that happened. More things could have happened that I don't even remember. Then in the 8th grade was when I stopped caring and I started wearing makeup to school again. I didn't give a shit that anyone thought there was something. There was a part of me that didn't want to yield to the hatred for myself, that didn't want to yield to the fear of what others were going to say. There has always been a part of me that fights against my depression and my anxiety. Naturally, I'm stubborn. I'm ready to fight for what I want. It's a family trait. And I was resilient. I wanted to not care. I wanted to fight and be better. And I did, for a while. That year, I wore makeup to school. It wasn't that great of makeup, but I felt good about it. And then there are those people that find others that are going through something that are different, and they pick on them for that. I remember there was this girl, I'm not gonna say her name. I could. I remember your name, bitch. And she would make fun of me, and she would tell me that something had happened when I was born. That maybe the doctors messed up, or maybe I was born with weird genitals or weird hormones, and the doctor didn't know what to do, so they assigned me a certain gender, and there was obviously something wrong with me. She essentially called me a freak. And then there was this other girl. So this girl, this constant joke that she had, and she thought it was hilarious, was like, "What bathroom do you use?" She had this ugly ass laugh. Oh. To this day, I want to fight her. And why? What about me said, "Hi, treat me like shit"? Seriously, what about me said that? And that just fueled the fire for me. It fueled my hatred toward myself. I was like, there is obviously something wrong with me. There is something wrong with me. My family is amazing. The family I grew up with, my mom, my aunt, my cousins. We weren't raised to treat others differently. We weren't raised to believe that we weren't raised racist. We weren't raised homophobic. We were raised to believe that if a person respects you, you respect them. No matter what. It doesn't matter if they're old, if they're young, if they practice a different religion than you, if they have a different sexuality than what you're used to, if they're black or Asian or Mexican or white. And I had never known ignorance like that. And I felt wrong because of it. And, there was this kid who hated me. I still to this day don't even know his name. He didn't run in a circle of friends that I was used to. I didn't know him. I didn't really see him in class. But he would push me in the hallways and say awful things to me. And I never knew why. I'd never met him. I'd never done anything to him. In my mind, I still had that piece of innocence that said that I must have done something wrong for someone to think there was something wrong with me, for someone to want to attack me. And then there was this asshole of a guy who told everyone that he never wanted to be around me because he was afraid that I would do something to him. One, he wasn't that cute. 2, he was really not cute. 3, not in his dreams. Fast forward through that, and my freshman year of high school. I'm not going to give too much detail of what happened, just because what happened deserves its own video. It's its own story. I had a mental breakdown. I think I've said this a couple times. Not gonna tell you what happened, just the things, just afterwards. I came out of the hospital behavioral center. Sorry if I hopped around, camera trouble, you know how it is. When I came out of the hospital, the behavior center, I felt different, but in a good way. I no longer felt like I needed to bottle everything in anymore. I let everything out. I told people how I felt. I told people how I was feeling. I told family things that I felt I couldn't. And it felt good. And for a while, things were going pretty good. They weren't great, but they were pretty good. I was spending so much time with my family. We were together, and shit was getting good. And then things changed. And I've been trying to deal with this, the new things, the new changes, as best as I can. There's so much. There's so much going on, and there's nothing I can do about it. I feel powerless, weak. I don't want to fight. There's just so much, and I wish I could tell you everything. I wish that I could say names and just get everything out. And it's been getting to me lately again. Having everything bottled up and not being able to do anything about it. A couple weeks ago, something bad happened. Not really, really bad. Like, no one was hurt. Physically, anyway. Emotionally, so many people were hurt. And I didn't know what I was gonna do. I felt alone. Down. And I had a moment. I was crying and screaming, and I didn't know what to do. And it became too much. And just like before, things stopped. My emotions shut down, and I felt like a zombie. I was out of it. And a couple days ago, my laptop stopped working, and my phone stopped working, and I was home alone, and I didn't know what to do. And I had an anxiety attack. It wasn't even an anxiety attack, it was an anxiety hour. I don't even remember most of it. I remember it was like 2:30 in the afternoon, and then suddenly it was 5. And my throat was sore, and I remember a moment so vividly. There was a flash in my mind of me hurting myself, and it scared me so much that I jumped up and I walked out of the living room where I was, and I laid down on the floor in the hallway, and I just started singing Here Comes a Thought from Steven Universe. And 2 minutes later, I was calm, and I was aware of where I was. But I don't remember what happened. I remember my throat felt sore, and my head hurt. I didn't have any marks on me, so I know I didn't hurt myself, but It's scary. The reason that I'm saying this and being so open about this, even though this could have some awful repercussions for me, is because I don't want anyone that's going through this to feel like they're alone. Because for a while, I didn't know what was wrong with me. I felt alone. No one was telling me what was going on. No one seemed to have a clue what was going on. But now I know. And I'm getting help. I'm going through a rough patch right now, but I can keep going with everything that's been going on. I have definitely had some days where I can't get up. Some days where my body aches. And some days where being left alone with my thoughts is the worst thing that anyone could do. I'm trying. I mean, the worst thing is, my anxiety and depression never happen separately. No, they come in together. They tag team me. And not in a fun way. If you are dealing with anxiety, look for alternatives, look for help. If you're dealing with depression, if you're dealing with anything, don't put it all on yourself. There is nothing wrong with asking for help. As I say this, I say it and I mean it. Spread love and positivity wherever you go. And kick anyone in the balls that tries to spread negativity. Bye.